Good evening and welcome to the Rest Report. I'm Michelle Grady.
And I'm Leslie Bogutz. Last Friday, the seniors left for their senior trip to Florida. They spent 3 exciting days in the Magic Kingdom and Epcot, sightseeing and going on the rides and buying souvenirs. The favorite ride of the students was Epcot's Journey into Imagination. And on Monday, they went to Wet n Wild, spent hours baking in the sun and going on many fun water rides. The seniors had a great time, and almost everybody came home with red noses. Here's Michelle talking with some of the students who went on the trip.
I'm here with Michelle Neal and Ellen Kernan. Both of them went on the senior trip to Florida this past weekend. Michelle, how was the weather?
It was really warm during the day and it was chilly at night, but it was great.
It's great. Okay. Ellen, can you tell us some of the things you did?
Well, we went to Epcot, of course, and the Magic Kingdom. We took monorails back and forth to each, and we went on all the rides and tried out all the food and just met a lot of people and just had a great time.
What do you think the best part of the trip was?
The last day at Wet n Wild when we got to lay out and enjoy the sun.
Do you recommend this trip to the underclassmen?
I sure would. In the beginning, I thought it was a lot of money too, but I knew it would all pay off, and it did. Everything we paid for it paid off because we got transportation everywhere, and we got a really good breakfast, and the place was nice, and everything just went well, and I think it was worth every penny of it.
How about you?
I think so too, because we got to be with everybody that was our own age, and we got to have fun for the last time all together.
Thank you, girls.
The tradition of sending flowers to special people on Valentine's Day was continued this week at West. Sophomores Wendy English and Joanne Taraki organized students which raised money for their class. The sale ran from January 21st to February 8th, and on Valentine's Day the flowers were delivered. Special friends, lunchmates, teachers, and lab partners received the flowers. Mrs. Lifshey, the sophomore class advisor, said that it seemed like this was a way that the whole school could take part and make people happy.
Last Thursday night, the second annual Valentine's Day dance was held. The dance was sponsored by the freshman and senior classes and was a big success. Many people were trying to meet their mate from their computer dating list. The computer matched up each person in school with 10 of their best mates.
Last week, back at home, the boys' basketball team upset number 3 ranked Woodrow Wilson 73-72 in double overtime. Craig Lynch helped the team by scoring 34 points. Ken Cravetti scored 16 points, including the winning basket in the last 3 seconds of the game. Todd Schmedling also had a great game with 4 points and 9 assists. Thursday, the team will play at Washington Township, and Saturday they will play their last home game against Overbrook. Friday and Saturday, the wrestling team will compete in the District 27 tournament.
The West girls basketball team dropped a tough game to Camden last week by a score of 55-40. The girls take on Washington Township and Overbrook this week. Registering to vote takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes is just a short amount of time to guarantee a lifetime of having your say in government. On Thursday, February 21st, and Friday, February 22nd, members of the Camden County League of Women's Voters will be in the cafeteria all lunch periods. Any student who will turn 18 or on or before April 2nd is eligible to vote. This time is also available for anyone who needs to file a change in address. The Cherry Hill West Home and School Schedule of Registrars sponsors this activity.
SAD stands for Students Against Drunk Driving. This year at West, the big emphasis will be on problems, because this is what really triggers the entire problems. A few weeks before the proms, the group plans to get up a beat-up old car and put it in front of the school with signs on it that say, "Drinking and driving, this could happen to you." SAD is also going to set up a hotline for the proms. This line will allow students to call in and get a ride if they need one. At the proms, there will also be people called spotters. These spotters will be wearing pins, and if anyone needs a ride, they can also go up to them. This is a group in which the whole school can get involved in.
This Friday at 8 p.m., the senior class will be sponsoring the first Lip at Night. It will be hosted by Christy Brinkley from WCAU-FM. It will feature a variety of impersonations. Admission is $2.
Thank you for watching the West Report. Please join us again next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good evening, and welcome to this February 20th edition of Eastcast. I'm Gail Abrams with Glenn Dunoff, here to bring you the recent news of Cherry Hill High School East. We'd also like to welcome back the seniors who returned Monday night from Orlando, Florida. Last Wednesday, East's first chapter of PAVIS, Performing and Visual Arts Society, held their first induction ceremony. The theme of the evening was Masquerade. Each member designed their own mask and removed it in celebration of the creative individual that often hides behind their mask. All aspects of art were represented, and East's own jazz band participated in the ceremony. National Chairman Mr. Paul DeFrancis and Advisor Mr. Cook recognized members and wished them luck in supporting and pursuing the arts. The time has come for the law team to start battling again. It's mock trial season. Students in the area high schools joined together to study cases distributed by the American Bar Association. The cases are examined and learned backwards and forwards by the students. When it's time to come to trial, the teams have to be ready to defend both sides, both plaintiff and defendant. So far this season, our proud team has been victorious. Good luck to Advisor Ms. Jepson and the entire team.
A reminder to all students interested in the forthcoming SAT examination and SAT preparation courses. Anyone planning to take their SATs or achievements should register by March 29th for the May 4th test or by April 26th for the June 1st test. Those of you wishing to take your SATs on March 23rd have missed the regular entry deadline. You can still take them on that date with a $10 penalty if you register before February 27th. The Math and Verbal SAT courses resume here on B15 on March 19th, so watch for these very informative Tuesday and Thursday evening sessions. Any interested French students, the National French competition, which in the past has been held in Chestnut Hill, will take place right here at East on March 9th from 8 to 11 a.m. There is no charge for East students, but registration should be completed as soon as possible, so see your French teacher.
Preparations are now underway for the annual Model UN, when East students will meet West for a full day of UN activities. Under the direction of Dr. Solomon, the three committees are the Security Council, Arms Control, and Central America. Students who are members of the World Affairs Club research their countries and how they would vote on certain issues. Members are also hoping that the mayor will be able to attend this event. Best of luck to all who are participating in the Model UN on March 12th. Cum Laude is East's own honor society that recognizes academically qualified junior and senior students. Juniors in the top 5% of the class are labeled as member designates. The top 10% of the senior class are official members, and an extra 5% are eligible after first semester. Officers were elected in the fall and are presently organizing the induction ceremony scheduled for April 4th. The primary activity of the Cum Laude Society is their tutorial program. Any student can pick up an application outside the library and be tutored in any subject. This is a service the Society provides for the student body.
Lab Band is another alternative to jazz band enthusiasts. This group meets after school on Wednesdays and Fridays. They volunteer their time and do well in competitions throughout the state. Band director Robert Goldman has a full agenda for the marching band. Presently, they are preparing for the annual banquet scheduled at the Cherry Hill Inn for March 1st. On March 10th, they will participate in the Greater New Jersey St. Patrick's Day Parade. Their performances will take place before an expected crowd of 35 to 40,000 spectators. In April, the Cougar Marching Band will compete with bands from all over the U.S. in Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Virginia. Then in May, they will participate in Cherry Hill's annual Cherry Blossom Parade. All members are urged to collect their spring schedules. East is now 1-0 in Knowledge Bowl competition this year. My co-anchor, Gail Abrams, had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Pinzer about the Knowledge Bowl team.
I'm here today with Mr. Pinzer, a math teacher at school and also advisor of the team. Mr. Pinzer, could you tell me how long you've been advisor of the Knowledge Bowl team?
Well, I've been associated with the team for 3 years now. In the first year, I was assistant to Miss Beck, who was the head coach, and the last 2 years, I've been the head coach of the team with Miss Beck as my assistant.
Could you explain for us the basic organization of Knowledge Bowl competitions?
33 schools in South Jersey are participating in this year's contest. And there are 17 schools in the small school bracket and 16 in the large school bracket. So they have a single elimination tournament, which means one loss and you're out. If a team is to win the overall championship, therefore, they have to win 5 matches in a row.
How has this year's team been preparing for such a competition?
Well, we had a written test at the beginning just for anyone who felt that he wanted to try to qualify for the team. Then I took the 16 highest scores on the written test, and we had a miniature Knowledge Bowl, really, for 3 days, whereas everyone participated against everyone else eventually. And from there, Miss Beck and I took a look at who was strongest in what areas and who seemed to have the quickest mind, and we selected the 6 people we thought would be best for the team.
I understand that for the past 2 years, East Knowledge Bowl team has come in first place. How do you feel about this year's team?
Well, as you know, the last year we had Bama on the team, who was probably better herself than most of the other teams put together, and we had a very well-balanced team last year. This year we've got Eric coming back, but he's the only returner from last year's squad, so it'll be a bit of a challenge, but I feel with the talent that we've got and the education they've received here at East that we'll be in very good shape again.
That sounds really great. This has been Gail Abrams with Mr. Pinzer. We wish the Knowledge Bowl team luck in their next competition, which will occur in April. On the sports scene, East Varsity boys basketball team is flying with a record of 19-4. The team proudly places second in the area. A special congratulations to Frank Williams, who scored his 1,000th point last week in the game against the West Lions. He joins High Rakes as an illustrious player and receives the game ball. Frank is a junior and next year has a good chance to break East all-time scoring record. Friday night, the Cougars played a tough game against Paul VI, finally winning by 2 points in overtime. The girls' varsity basketball is facing a tough season, but nevertheless holding a winning record of 15-7. Be sure to tune in next Wednesday for a replay of the East-West girls' basketball game taped on February 7th.
The Cougar bowling teams participated in 2 tournaments over the holiday. On Thursday afternoon, the East Bowlers won the Sweetheart Tournament at Crest Lanes against the 8 other schools in the conference. Larry Kane and Kim Jones won the freshman competition. East Bowlers Leslie Glick and Vince Ramagli were champions of the sophomore division. The junior class champions, Kim Rodell and Rick Stevenson, bowled the highest series of the day, 1082. East varsity wrestling team suffered a loss to a tough Lenape team last week, the final score being 28-31. Spring sports are beginning again. Physicals for the golf team are scheduled for February 21st and for women's lacrosse February 25th. Other meetings are being held for girls and boys track, baseball, and freshman softball. Interested students should attend meetings or speak with the respective coaches. Stay tuned for the East-West boys basketball game following the junior high school news right here on station B15. For Gail Abrams and myself, Glenn Dunoff, thank you for watching this week's edition of Eastcast.
Good evening, this is Melissa Bernstein, and welcome to Brainerd News. You know, most of the time doing the show is a lot of fun and really interesting, but sometimes it's not so fun. Tonight happens to be one of those nights, because the story I must report to you is not a happy one. On February 4th, Hope Platshorn, a 7th grade student here at Brainerd, passed away suddenly. Hope was a member of Mr. Callahan's homeroom and well-liked by all who knew her. And with me now is Mrs. Cutler, who was Hope's language arts teacher, to tell us about a special project her students did for Hope. Mrs. Cutler, will you please tell us about the project?
Thank you, Missy. Yes. Hope was in my English class, and when her friends and classmates learned of her untimely death, they were naturally shocked and quite upset. We discussed in class about her passing, and we decided that we wished to express our feelings to Hope's mother, Mrs. Platshorn. I discussed with the class the fact that a letter of sympathy is probably the hardest of all letters to write, but we talked about the fond memories we had of Hope and discussed that we should write our feelings from the heart. If I may, and with the students' permission, I would like to share with you some excerpts from a few students' letters to Mrs. Platshorn. The first one is from Adam Shaw. And he writes, I am very sorry to hear about Hope and deeply sympathize with you. Her classmates and I will remember her for her long dangling earrings, fluorescent socks, and sweatshirts. More important than materialistic possessions, though, was her bright personality. She carried a happy-go-lucky attitude and was always on the go. Surrounding her was a cheerful aura that brightened the days of those around her. The next letter is from a classmate, Abby Sloan. I shall always remember the way Hope got into trouble, but even more, I shall remember the way she got out of trouble. Oh, I envied the way she looked on the bright side of life, saying, nothing could be that bad. Matt Ostroff was a good friend of Hope's, and he writes, Hope and I shared a common love, music. I'm crazy about Billy Joel and Bruce Springsteen, while she enjoyed Steve Perry and Ozzy Osbourne. We'd sit and talk for hours, not just about music, but everything. Hope was a good friend, and I'll always remember her. From what she told me about you, Mrs. Platshorn, I know you'll be strong and find help from God to live through this difficult time. And last, a classmate of Hope's, David Pratt, says, the things I shall always remember about Hope are her long white earrings and her I Love General Hospital sweatshirt. But most of all, I shall never forget the button she wore that said, damn, I'm good. And you know what? She really was. Thank you, Missy, for permitting me the opportunity to share these letters with you. And I hope in the days to come that Mrs. Platshorn will receive a small measure of comfort knowing that Hope touched so many lives and was cared about by so many of her fellow students.
Well, I'd like to thank you, Mrs. Cutler, and all of your students. Our student council is planning a special memorial for Hope. We will be bringing you up to date on this project. And now, on behalf of the students and staff here at Brainerd, I would like to extend our deepest sympathy to Hope's family and friends. Our thoughts are with you. Schools were closed Friday and Monday to mark the occasion of President Washington and President Lincoln's birthdays. Washington, the father of our country, helped to shape the beginning of the United States in these three important ways. He commanded the Continental Army that won America's independence. He served as president of the convention that wrote the U.S. Constitution, and he was the first man elected president of the United States. In 1860, Mr. Lincoln was elected the 16th president of the United States. He was a great president who guided our country during the nation's Civil War. Our extended weekend vacation gives us an opportunity to remember the impact these two men had on America's history. And now here's Adam Arton with our sports.
As you probably know, it's time for the winter sports wrap-up again. The wrestling team came out with a pretty good season with 9 wins and 5 losses. The 7th grade girls basketball team wound up with a record of 9-7. The varsity girls basketball team wound up with a record of 9-4. The boys mini Mustangs ended up with a record of 11-3. And last but definitely not least, the varsity boys basketball team with an amazing record of 18-0. I had a chance to talk to Mr. Chamberlain earlier. Let's take a look at that tape. I have with me today Mr. Chamberlain. Hello, Mr. Chamberlain.
Hi.
Just last week, you played the last game of the season. Could you please tell us the importance of that game?
It was truly the most important game that we had this year, to say the very least. Going into that game, our record was 17-0, 15-0, not counting tournament games. And if we were to have lost that game, we would lose the league championship to Beck.
2 weeks ago, we interviewed you for something else. Could you please tell us what that was?
We were the winners of the Moorestown basketball tournament.
What does the team look like for next year?
Oh, we're very excited. We think our prospects are pretty good next year. Mr. Ritchie, my assistant coach, is a very fine coach and has done a very good job with them this year. I believe there were 3 losses this year, and that's a pretty good record.
Is it possible for us to meet the team?
Yes, it is possible, and I would be pleased to introduce them to you now. The first player I'd like to introduce is Tom Pratt. Tom is an excellent offensive player. He's the team's highest scorer, and he is either the first or the second highest scorer in Brainerd's history. We haven't got all the statistics compiled yet, and he's also our top rebounder. Our second player is Eric Moskowitz. Eric is an excellent rebounder. He's our best shot blocker. He's improving rapidly defensively, and he's our second highest scorer, too. Bobby Jasinski provides heart for this team. Bobby is a great player under pressure. When the going gets tough, they say the tough get going. Bobby never quits. Jason Sunkett. Jason has lots of athletic ability. He came on very strong at the end of the season. He gives us lots of quickness, and we need him a lot. JJ Piccolo. JJ is our emotional leader, and believe me, we need an emotional leader on this team. He keeps the team up and focuses them on the tasks at hand. His attitude is indispensable. He does whatever we need, and he's an excellent defensive player. He's also rapidly improving on offense. This is Dean DeGrazio. Dean would start for most teams we play. He's got a great drive, and he's a solid all-around performer. Chris Murphy. Chris also would start for most teams that we play. He has a great sense of where to be both on offense and defense. He's always in the right place at the right time. Dan Nevin gave us great help all year. He has a lot of good moves. His shot wasn't quite ready yet this year, but we're expecting next year he's going to be a player to watch. Paul Napoli, a player with a great attitude. He's probably our best defensive player, and he's a player to watch over at West as well. Pete Favuzzi. Pete is a very strong rebounder and a dangerous inside player. Glenn Brumbaugh has good quickness, developing very good moves, will be a player to watch in the future at West. Jimmy Brumbaugh also has great quickness and developing rapidly as a player. He will also, along with his brother, be a player to watch. Doug Airgood. Doug has a good all-around game, and he can help us wherever we need it. Joe Del Rossi. Joe has a great attitude. He can help us at the guard slot whenever we need it. A very smart player. Here are 3 of our managers. First is Darlene Geller. She's an excellent worker on the rebound stats and did a good job for us all year. Next is Brooke Lafferty, a very dependable and excellent timer. And last is Hal Corrin, our scorekeeper, did a fine job for us and also kept charts.
Thank you, Mr. Chamberlain, for taking the time to come down here to Brainerd News. And thank you to the players. You know, Melissa, this is the first time in Brainerd history that any team has gone undefeated. Melissa?
Thank you, Adam. That's it for Brainerd News tonight. We're glad you could join us, and we hope to see you next week. This is Melissa Bernstein for Brainerd News. Good night.